I don't know about that.
What's going on, guys? Jorge Aquino coming to you live and direct. It's Tormenting Tarmac, the podcast where the enthusiast never dies. I'm hanging out with three of my best friends in the car world. Oh my gosh, this okay. Low key, this is actually the first time that all four of us have been on a pod together, which actually makes this podcast extremely special. But um, we'll go in order of my screen. Um, let's see. How do I want to go ahead and introduce him? I'll introduce him as the marketing director currently over at Issimi, and that is Lorenzo Iacomini, aka the Speedy Guidi, over here to my left, and then on my bottom left, um, the I think I like to go ahead and present this man as one of the two people that went ahead and told me to go for it and really has had my back since day one. That's Jordan Aquistapace, who's the lifestyle director over at DuPont Registry. And then the other person who's basically just tells me to rip it every single time, that's Dylan Orluck, account executive over at DuPont Registry. And we basically are the Fantastic Four. That's the best way to put it, right, Five? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
it's so good to see you guys. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Superb.
Superb. It's been a whirlwind of a few months. You know, we've got people traveling back and forth from state to state. We have people who are making pasta every single Sunday and slaying the game. Jordan got engaged over the weekend. Let's go, Jordan. If I had a soundboard right now, I'd do the clapping noises. But dude, congratulations.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yep. There it
Where's
is.
we need the DJ Cadillac, the horns and stuff like that. That's what we need right now. Um, we'll dive into everything in just a second, but I want to take the time because Jordan, you're my boy, you're our boy. We're so happy for you. We're so happy for your now fiance. Um, as long as we're invited to the wedding, I think we're all straight, bro.
Yeah, we're good. You guys are on the list.
That's great, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No, for sure, dude. How was that experience as someone who's been married for a while? How was it for you?
Lorenzo and I were just talking about it earlier. It's something that you really can't prepare for.
Facts.
You get nervous, I like to say I knew the answer beforehand, but you get some nerves. But it was cool. It was a good
For sure.
experience.
For sure, man. And was she stoked? Was she ecstatic? Was the rock the one that you picked out? Was that the right one?
I hope so. Yeah, yeah. It was a good one. It was a good one. She was very excited. She was surprised. It felt like things weren't going like the best with the plan, but it all wrapped up. It was good.
As long as she had a smile on her face and you made the right decision, we are
Yeah,
all ecstatic for you, man.
it
So
was good.
seriously, congratulations on behalf of us to you and to your
Thanks.
fiance. Wishing you all the years of happiness. And I'm sure that wedding planning is going to go ahead and be very beautiful and all that good stuff, bro.
Sure. I'll let her handle it.
Do we have? Will we have a new watch for the wedding? That's the question.
uh yeah, if my AD calls me back.
Hey, let's go! Shout out,
For
give us a holler, guys. Let's make it happen.
sure.
So basically, over the last few months, a lot of things have changed with everybody on this panel. Dylan's been going from state to state. Like Dylan, I think he went ahead and set the record for the most quickest round trip from like North Florida to South Florida 2 weeks ago. What the for MOTA and
Yeah,
for Amelia Island? How was that, bro?
it was good. Those two events are at war, so they decided to do it at the same week on the same weekend. So I decided to make a round trip. I could have done it a better way, and I really hyped it up like I was the first person in the world to do it. But I got so many messages of people just saying, "Dude, like we're doing the same thing, and it's not that big of a deal." But you never know. But both events were great,
Nice. We're now.
fantastic.
Did they do it by themselves because you were by yourself?
Yeah. Um, I don't know what they did. I think a lot of them were in cars together. I think I was one of the only solo ones, but I also did. I had someone go with me from the 8 hour drive from Amelia to Miami,
Okay.
so it was good.
Yeah, no, I saw like it was pretty lit. Like my homie Colby, shout out to the Colby, she was at Moda and whatnot, and then my good buddy Ryan Barkey from the steering committee was at Amelia, and both events, from what I understand, were absolutely spectacular. Um, I think we're gonna get into a little bit about that, but you know, let's not beat around the bush because Issimi had their open house. Like, I think was it that same weekend actually, Lorenzo?
Weekend after.
It was 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago, March the 9th, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, first of all, congratulations. You basically were kind of in charge of that whole thing, putting it all together. Dude, we're all so stoked for you for this incredible opportunity that you now have with one of the best car dealerships in the country. Very now becoming very famous for its association with with the people before it and whatnot. And here you are taking over the reins and like doing incredible stuff, man. So it's official now. Like, how is Issimi and how is it all treating you and all that?
First of all, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long road. I've been wanting to actually work with Issimi for a really, really, really long time. Basically, like since I left college. And funny enough, I don't know, not a lot of people may not know this, but the guys who started Issimi, it was a group of 3 who all worked at Pagani together, and they were all kind of fed up and were like, we can do this like by ourselves, like we can do our own thing. So they kind of started like a social club ish slash like now it's an auction platform website, but they just have like kick-ass marketing, and they have a Mechanica shop next door, so they service like Koenigsegg's and Paganis and Miatas and like anything. Like they go the whole spectrum. So I'm not necessarily a marketing director, but I work in marketing. So I do their video stuff. So we actually just shot a video today, long form YouTube video that should hopefully be coming out at the end of the month. We have another one in the hopper. So we got 2 videos coming out, which should be pretty fun. I hope that I'm as good as my predecessor. I'm a little nervous about it. There's big shoes to fill. A lot of eyeballs and a lot of car nerds who are going to probably pick me apart, but that's okay. More comments are better. And then I also work on the storage side. So because I worked in storage, car storage for like 4 years in LA. So I'm kind of taking the reins on that whole business. And I'm the manager of PFS NorCal. So if anyone needs a wrap in the Bay Area, give me a call.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, speaking of which, can we do social media plugs real quick before I forget? I want to make sure that everybody's being repped accordingly. So speaking of Lorenzo, of course, you can go ahead and find him at the Speedy Guidi on Instagram. And we might as well go ahead and be giving that massive shout out to Issimi. I believe it's at Issimi Official on Instagram and Issimi Mechanica.
Yep.
And then, of course, you can find Jordan at Jordan Aquistapace _
Jordan _A.
Thank you. Sorry,
Okay.
Jordan. Apologies.
All good.
But yes, you can go ahead and find them there, as well as you go ahead and find DuPont Registry and DuPont Registry News. What else we got? DuPont Registry Mag, of course, which is directly for you and all that good stuff. And there's a couple of more, which we'll go ahead and mention at the end. And then, of course, you can go ahead and find Dylan at Race Car Dill. If you are a high-end dealership anywhere in the country, if you happen to be listening to this podcast, which I would appreciate if you did, but you can go ahead and reach out to Dill and he can go ahead and get you all sorted. So that way your advertising is all taken care of right there with good old DuPont Registry. Been killing it since
Dylan's Instagram famous. He's gotten millions of views on that G-Wagon video. Is that still getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, did we talk about
it
that?
gets shared every week. Every single week, more random pages repost it.
Which is wild. So now that video went, ridiculously viral. And that was after we last recorded. So the last time that the last time that Dylan and Lorenzo were on, which Jordan was supposed to be on, but he couldn't make it because of a personal
rollerblading tournament.
That makes total sense. But when was it, guys? When did we get together? Late July, early August was the last time we did a pod together. Is that right? That's about right.
So.
Yeah, after you guys got back after Goodwood. Yeah.
Yeah, before Pebble.
Okay. Before Pebble. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we went ahead and did we did a preview of Pebble, and then you guys basically shut it down with everything that you did with F Festival of Speed. But like for people who haven't seen that video that actually, again, came from you in particular, explain to the people what it is.
Well, I was just like, basically, I take videos of cars all the time, and I post like we get to see really crazy cars through what we do at work. So like that's what I do. And then I was driving on the highway home from work, and I was passing my exit, but I could see up ahead. I was like, that looks like a Bugatti, like on a trailer. But I was like, there's no way. But I was like, I have to see. So I just kept driving, missed my exit. And I was like, no way. It was a Bugatti Chiron being pulled by a G-Wagon on an open trailer. So like I just pulled out my phone as quickly as I could, and like my car's dirty. I just like quickly film it just for me to be like, hey, look, this is crazy. And like I texted a couple friends and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this on my story. And I put it on my story for like, I don't know, it was probably up to like 45 minutes to an hour. And I got like 20 DMs. Like, dude, this is crazy. Holy smokes. Wow. So then I threw it up on Instagram and it just went nuts though. I also
Dude.
had like I sent it to like a couple of my friends that have like LA, Cody, LA Car Spotter, like
Yeah,
a couple
big
like
shout out to Cody Lewis. Been on the
Peace
pod
of the
before.
Jungle,
Yeah.
stuff like that, where they gave it a big bump in the beginning, so that probably helped. But yeah, it's literally been ripping ever since. And I don't, it's kind of plateaued on my channel, but every page that reposted is like businessman success tips. And then it will be like a picture, it'll be like, get so rich that pull a Bugatti with a G-Wagon. But yeah, it's cool. I got, a decent amount of followers from it, but for how viral it went, I kind of expected it to be crazier. I thought I was going to get a bunch more followers, but if you like look at like the analytics of like the watch time, it's been watched for like 7 months or something
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
It's crazy.
That is wild. At this moment in time, I'm looking at it. It's got 3,448,770 plays. I believe I was that 770th play, if I'm not mistaken. And we're looking at
Yup.
235,000 plus likes. Like that's huge numbers right there, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And again, still makes me. And I think you were like, I'm not sure if I ever want to post anything again because like you can't top that. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. Jordan, I haven't seen you in what feels like forever. And you, every single time I can, I always tell people that you're partly responsible for giving me the confidence that I've been able to go ahead and gain to this day. Everything you've done for me and all the support you've always given me from the very beginning. Literally, we met at Barrett Jackson in 2022. You're this like cool guy, super tall, makes me feel like a very short individual. But you and Dill were so gracious with your time. And look at it, we look at it 2.5 years later. I think it's fair to say that all four of us have become very good friends and whatnot. Sure. And, every single time, dude, I'm looking at DuPont and whatnot. Every single time you're leveling up with your writing, you're leveling up with everything that you're being able to bring to the table with DuPont. So the last time you were on, it's been about a year since you've been on the podcast. What's been going on over at DuPont, man? Give us a little bit of a show and tell of what the adventures you've been on.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of my stuff is office time now, which going from car shows and hanging out with friends at races and stuff, it's a little different, but we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works. We like helping our dealers out. We couldn't have any better inventory than we do right now. So it makes creating content super easy. And we just getting a little bit more, we're getting some more freedom with writing. So the editorial is just getting like phenomenal, just opportunities to write about pretty much anything we want. So I would say that things are going spectacular. I do miss being out there at the events, but I'm sure that will start ramping up again soon. But right now it's just office time, hanging with everyone in there and just keeping the ship rolling. But it's good.
No, you're doing an incredible job.
We're still hitting the road though. We were
there's the off days. The off days we're hitting the roads. We just came back from the Sebring 12-hour. We did that at the local car show beforehand. So that was the day I got engaged actually. So I had to get a little car stuff in before popping the question, so.
You need to get the hit in before you went ahead and, being like, hey, I got this girl that I'm about to ask to marry me. She's the girl of my dreams and whatnot. But real quick, let me just go ahead and check out some cars. That's a fantastic thing.
Now it was like definitely the best day of my life, No,
100%. 100%.
The cars help.
Yeah. I was gonna say I did see you guys at the 12 hours of Sebring, and I'm pretty sure, did I go ahead and see one of you guys over at the St. Pete Grand Prix?
Yeah, we were both there as well. We were the two sunburnt guys in the grandstand.
Dude,
Every year. Every year.
I watched some of the St. Pete Grand Prix. I believe Joseph Newgarden went ahead and whooped the entire field's ass
That was crazy.
2 Sundays ago. Like, dude is quick this year, man. He really, really is. I
He's
always
lucky we're not out there.
obviously that you got somebody's a speedy Guidi, the other one's got a race car literally in his name, and then Jordan was whipping around in a Miata up until recently. Miata's also always the answer, right, Lorenzo?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of really we can chat about the
bought
next
my
car
Miata.
in a little bit, but I love Miata. I love Miata. I've never owned one though. These two guys are the masters.
That's true. That's true. Although one of your best
three of them.
I know. It's, I mean, what has Dylan not been buying as of late? You know what I'm saying? Like Dylan's car game is like, yeah, I think it's time to get a GT3 now, bro.
Johnny Wire R.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I actually haven't had a YR.
Yeah, obviously. I think we need to go ahead and add that to the collection. I think
Yeah.
what you need to do is the next time you see that Chiron owner being pulled by the G-Wagon, just pull him over and be like, hey, listen, how much for the Chiron on the spot? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the
Yeah,
move.
no, I think that's a good idea.
I think
Or
so
else
too.
you're
I would
banned from Dilly Deals. See ya.
Yeah. Did you guys ever used to watch Counting Cars on the History Channel? Do you guys remember that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's I went Danny, what's his last name? Danny. He was the count. And so like I
Yeah.
remember, yeah, and it was basically Lorenzo, it was on History Channel and it was a spin-off of oh my gosh, what's the name of it? The really big history show.
Hit my ride.
No, Pawn Stars.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters. Mid-fire ride. This I can't take you serious.
Dude,
Although
I want to be a player. Put your wheels and fly.
I did see a clip.
I think Jordan tried out for the role of Exhibit, but they didn't give it to him on account
They
of
didn't. They didn't, dude.
Exhibit.
That show would still be going if I was there.
Obviously, I completely agree with you on that.
Side note, I've been to West Coast Customs. It's the worst shop you have ever stepped foot in. Everything's like fucking plastic and wood. It's crazy. It's like, how are people fucking buying these things? I saw Justin Bieber's weird, like, purple car. I was like, dude, this thing is made out of fucking chocolate chip cookies. Like, it's so funny.
Oh my gosh. So I saw a reel, I think it was yesterday or Monday, and it was this chick. So when was Pimp My Ride? It was like 2005, right? So we would have been like 15. We would have been in our teenage years, right? And so there's this girl who has this beat up late 90s Honda Civic, like the Honda Civic that most people just absolutely love. But hers is rusted like nobody's business. Like she's got water like floating behind her front seat. I was like, how in the hell did that happen? But that's not the point. So they go ahead and they redo her car. And boy, howdy. You forget how crazy some of that shit was back in the day, dude.
Dude, the craziest.
Lamborghini doors, the sound system popping out of the trunk, like neon lights everywhere. I think the car was I think it was the steering wheel was like Alcantara purple or whatever. I was like, bro, or suede maybe. I was just like, this is a disaster. But it was so goddamn entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
We should do that. We should bring that back.
We really should. I think all of us have enough pull to be able to go ahead and come together and actually make that stuff happen.
We could actually build one of those cars. That's how shitty they are. I have zero mechanical prowess whatsoever. I can make that jacuzzi car. Let me tell you.
100%. What's
We heard you
Exhibit
like
doing
juices,
these
so we
days?
put a juice bar in your trunk.
I heard you like fried chicken, so I went ahead and made sure to get you set up with a coupon book for Church's Chicken, and it's right there. If you push this button, it'll go ahead and lower your glove compartment and shoot it on out. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome.
I don't know why I mentioned fried chicken. I think I'm hungry. And Church's Chicken is trash these days. So shout out to Popeyes and to I don't know. Kroger's new recipe for fried chicken is actually quite delicious. Kroger's and fries. I don't know. That's a little food.
We don't
review.
have Kroger's.
You guys don't have Kroger's in Florida? Really?
I
That
don't
is
know what
shocking.
Kroger's is either.
Okay, well, it's a supermarket. That's all
Everyone
it
in
is.
California eats tofu, so like I don't know what you guys are talking about here.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so chicken. All right, Jordan, you want to tell me what chicken is?
It's like round tofu, right, with like legs and stuff.
Yeah, that just
Mhm.
walks
Wow.
around. You're fine.
Yo, would fried tofu actually taste good though? It's a
No.
serious question. No, I don't. I'm not a big
Yeah.
tofu guy, so I think I'm too unhealthy for the way that California lives sometimes, Lorenzo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By the way, dude. Okay, I know this is a car podcast. It's a car culture podcast, but can I talk to you about Sugo Sundays real quick and how happy they make me?
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that. A lot of people love it. The plan is for next year at the Concourse d'Elegance, I'm gonna do Sugo Sunday at the Concourse.
Yo.
I'm gonna give it away for free to a bunch of billionaires, and the plan to hopefully strike some business with some billionaire with some sick cars. He's gonna be like, dude, this pasta is so good. You're my private chef, and then that's the rest of my life. You're never gonna
You're
see
in the
me.
game. 100%.
I
Yeah.
just make pasta for Jerry Seinfeld for the rest of his life. Drive 917s, and that's my life.
Did
I
you
think
see that was for sale? His 917 was up for sale for like 5 days.
Yeah.
You know, did it sell?
I have no idea. I heard about it on another podcast, which we can't say here because it's potential competition. But I heard about it.
I mean, it depends on the competition. If it was SCR, all right, I'll give a shout out to. You know what? Johnny Lieberman is a friend of the show, so if it is SCR, I'll give love to my boy Lieberman. So, I mean, that's a weird flex. I apologize, guys. That being said, no,
I didn't say it like that. I'm saying, yeah.
no, it's all good. It's all good. No, but like, was it at auction? Was it an auction, or was it just for sale?
No, it was the guy that's like been getting a lot of Jerry's cars and
Okay.
selling them. Posted just like a story or something about it, and then it was on his site for sale with like a ton of photos. And then I reached out to him, but I imagine that I was in a sea of emails for
Right.
that particular car, so
I gotcha.
never
So,
heard
hey,
back.
I wanted to ask you, Dill, and Jordan and Lorenzo can go ahead and chime in on this. Obviously, you and I got a chance to go ahead and hang out at Arizona Car Week a couple months back. We were kicking
Yeah.
it over at Sotheby's, had a great time. It's so good to see you. But we were hanging out, you know, they were offering free champagne, but then charging $25 for wine. Okay, shout out to the Biltmore. What you know, you were so enthralled with what was going on. You and I were seeing some numbers that we were like kind of confused about, some numbers we weren't so confused about. And I'm just curious to go ahead and get your thoughts from a boots on the ground perspective. And then Jordan, I'm assuming that you were going ahead and catching up with it so you could go ahead and post about it and write about it. But was there anything that you were just like, did anything surprise you, or was it just more like, okay, this is where it's all at?
You want to know what surprised me is that Gas Monkey 6x6
Yo, the one at
sold for
Barrett,
like
yes.
800 grand or something.
Something stupid.
900,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I saw that in
mean,
person. It's a wild looking thing, dude.
Oh yeah, it's wild, but it's not that wild.
It's not that wild. It's not 800 grand wild.
No, but that was really crazy. But other than that, I feel like it was just there was nothing really that I can think of off the top of my head that was really, really crazy that like blew the roof off the place. But I think it just kind of reassured everyone that, you know, the car market's still ripping. So
Wasn't
I
that
think on
Trump's dead Diablo? Wasn't that the one that was crazy?
yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
I was
was
I was
pretty
on the
crazy.
stage for that when that rolled up. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
think the roof actually did come off when that rolled up. It was nuts. It was nuts.
That was crazy.
I basically, you had a feeling that was going to do a big number. It was selling at the right location. It was selling to the right audience. I low-key, I'm not going to lie to you. I actually thought that it was going to go for a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I thought the number that it went for, I mean, how many Diablos have we seen go for $1 million plus these days? Not very many. I think this was one
No.
of the first ones. I think Jordan, I think you did an article about that particular Diablo, right?
Yeah, I did a coverage on the entire auction as a whole. They did like $207 million. It was, yeah, it's an all-time record for them, you know.
Yeah. It was
So it was,
definitely
but
Crazy.
definitely the Trump Diablo is crazy. I actually have it pulled up here because there were so many good ones, but
Mhm.
there was the 56 300 SL did like 3.4. That was
Yep.
great.
Is that that was the one with the green interior, right? With the green houndstooth interior?
I think so.
Yeah. That one was sick. Really
But it's
just
like a good mix of just old stuff and new stuff. You get like those, I don't know, like Dunes and Bergs and stuff that you have no idea what they are, but they just come with massive price tags.
right.
And then you just get some stuff where, you know, people don't want to wait to customize a Chiron, so they just buy one at auction for like $3 million. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Just
yeah,
willing to go ahead and
diverse.
overpay like crazy, which is perfectly fine for the auctions. Like, and it's perfectly fine for me as a spectator and whatnot. Like, I think so. I was covering quite a bit of the 5 days during the week and whatnot, and there was this what was it? A Polaris Razor or a Polaris? Yeah, it was Polaris Razor, and that sucker went for like 65 grand, and I was like, yo, that whoever went ahead and is serving this person alcohol, they need to cut them off immediately, bro. Like almost
Yeah.
like 65 G's. Are you out of your minds?
I also didn't they put like an LFA, the Nürburgring edition? Wasn't it just sitting outside in the sun like all week?
I don't know.
No, that one was
I
sitting.
saw
It
some
was in the
story of
middle
it
of it.
sitting out there, but that's
Yeah.
another car that's just like so cool. Yeah, that was another one that
Yeah.
sold.
The black one, I think at Sotheby's may have been outside, but that whole week was actually relatively cloudy. It actually rained a couple of different days that week and whatnot. But they did have it outside at Sotheby's.
Use that one.
Yeah, that one was cool. That one actually did. I don't think that hit the reserve that they wanted to. I think it got up to like about 700 G's and it tapped out.
It's crazy.
Which I was like actually kind of surprised. But now, if I'm not mistaken, that wasn't a Nürburgring edition. The Nürburgring edition was the one at Barrett Jackson, and that one
that
went
one
ahead
did
and
like 1.6 or something.
yeah, for sure. You know, Lorenzo, I know that I tried to get you out here, but you know, you being a badass mofo, you were like, nah, brother, I can't. I'm doing too many cool things. What else have you been up to other than I'm kidding. You know I love you, bro. But you've been up to other stuff like you know you've been traveling all over the place other than Issimi and whatnot. What's going on with car culture up in San Fran, brother?
Yeah, I try to travel. There's not that much going on up here. There's a bunch of new cars and coffees going on up here. To be honest, I don't really go to a lot of them. A lot of them are like Subaru BRZ M3 guys drinking boba, and it's like all the same car at the same car show. I'm just like, this isn't a fucking car show. This is lame. I don't go to those, and I'm not being an elitist. That's like lame to me. But nah, man. Besides that, my eyes are set. One of my coworkers is actually going to the Villa d'Este car show in May, and that's the car show. Like, I got my eyes set on that. Like, after going to Goodwood with these two gentlemen, that was so sick. Like, Revival's on the list too, but like, I think like the Villa d'Este is at the front of my mind right now. Like, that just looks so epic. It's in my hometown. It's in my it's in the motherland. So I got to go back, and we gotta make it happen, guys. Like,
Let me know. Let me know.
supposedly the tickets themselves aren't that expensive. It's like €75. It's a really, really small show. Like, it's like tiny. It's like a quarter the size of the Concourse d'Elegance on the 18th, but it's just sick, the setting. But the hardest part is just lodging. So you can't, I mean, staying at Villa d'Este is like €3,000 a night or something crazy. So you have to like get Airbnbs, and getting around to pain in the ass, but it's just elegance. It's
Yeah.
elegance, man. I need it.
Let's
No,
just get
Um,
let's camp in tents. It's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
We'll rent a boat.
George Clooney. We could stay at George Clooney's house.
Yeah.
Who else has a house
absolutely.
out there? Somebody else has it. Doesn't Nicolas Cage have a house out there too, or something like that? Doesn't he have like a castle?
Virgin Atlantic
Probably.
Branson, what's his name?
Richard Branson.
Shout out to Richard Branson.
One. And then the house from is it episode 1? Star Wars is there too. The one that they're like they filmed one of the scenes from one of those movies out there. I forget.
No way. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
are you wait? Maybe it was
either.
episode 2 when they get when Anakin and Padme get married. That makes sense.
Obviously,
I
in
didn't
Casino
realize.
Royale, there's a lot of houses in that movie too. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man.
That's dope.
What
So
about
this is,
Retromobile?
Yeah, Retromobile looks really rad. It
I would
looks
do that.
so sick.
can we touch on what exactly Retromobile? Because I'm not 100% certain everybody knows what Retromobile is. I found out about it last year, and I think it's spectacular.
It's actually pronounced Retromobile, so get it right, okay?
Apologies to my
Stupid
French.
American.
I feel so ignorant, brother. I'm so sorry.
It's like in a convention center, or what's the building? I can't think of what it's called. Somebody's screaming at their computer right now listening to this. But it's in the big glass historic building.
In Paris, right?
Yeah, in Paris.
Yeah.
And it's no, I wish it was that easy, but I'll look it up. But there's basically the RM and a couple of the other auction houses have auctions there, and then a bunch of like dealers and vendors throughout Europe set up there. But it makes like, I don't know, like when you go to like the New York Auto Show or any of those auto shows, like Lexus will build like a really cool display and have like all this stuff out. But like if you go to something at like Barrett Jackson, it's like not the same, or like any of these American events where dealers have cars on display. But like the dealers in Europe take such pride in their work that like they build out these insane things. Like Gerardo and Co will have like cars up on pedestals and like really cool designs and layouts. So it just looks awesome. Really, really cool. And insane cars that you never see in the States.
Is it the
I
Port
believe
of
it-
Versailles? Port of Versailles.
That's what I'm saying here. Yep.
Maybe.
The Paris
Paris
Expo
Expo.
Porte de Versailles. Yep, that's what I was saying. It's absolutely like an incredible, just an incredible thing, and like I'm not gonna say it puts some of the stuff that we have here in the States to shame because it doesn't. But it's also very different. The elegance is turned up, and that's the thing that I'm kind of like wanting to go ahead and really enjoy is I really enjoyed the elegance of RM Sotheby's. Like this year was my first time going to Sotheby's and whatnot, and the level of sophistication was really, really cool. Like it's so different from like Barrett and even very different from Bottoms. Like, it was just like, yeah, I see what y'all are doing here. And even then me saying that, I felt unsophisticated even saying, yeah, I was like, yes, this is wealth. That's what I felt like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was real,
cool.
real cool. It was dope, man. By the
It's
way,
cool to be in the room when these guys are, spending
bidding.
millions of dollars. Yeah. You're just standing next to a guy who just like throws his paddle up or his hand up and just buys like a $3 million car just sitting right next to you. And you're like, whoa. Cool.
I was like, yeah. I know. I was hanging out with your old coworker that who you told me I think was one of the very first employees over at DuPont Registry.
Yeah, he was the first.
The very first. Such a nice guy, and like the amount of connections and the amount of and like that, and that's what I love about the things that the three of you guys do in different manners is when you guys go to these events, like you guys are in it, and like the just you're in the game. Like you guys are the game. Like, Jordan, like I know you've been in this for a little bit now, but like it still gives you the giggles, right?
Yeah. It's definitely like you get a little bit like desensitized to it. But when we were at Amelia the first time I went, I saw McLaren F1 for the first time rolling, and I was like, that's when I was like, oh, okay. You remember like that stuff can still blow your mind. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, you go and you see like crazy stuff all the time, but it's cool. I mean, and I think seeing the older stuff is like making you more appreciative of like being able to see some of the examples that you do see at these shows. Because like, I mean, if they wanted to, these owners could stuff them away and you could never see them again. So it's just, you got to take the opportunity to go to every show you can. That's like, I mean, I say that and not go to them this whole year, but yeah, I'd like to. But yeah, you just got to take all your opportunities and go see these things because they're nuts.
I agree. Lorenzo, how long before you fully get desensitized by the things that you see at Issimi every single day?
It's already happened, man. I walk by a Koenigsegg Agera RS, the megawatt car, every single day. Thing's been sitting there for days. Dylan's been up. I know what he's saying. Let's get it on DuPont. Let's get it on DuPont.
Come on.
That's the potential car I'm going to hopefully shoot a video on.
Wow.
Here, let's see. If I shoot that car, I'll probably die. So this might be the last podcast, but yeah, dude, we have crazy cars like that GT2 RS and the Viola purple metallic of the delivery miles, like that's sitting there. That's a sick car. We have a manual Murcielago, which are just so sick.
Yeah,
they're so cool. We just have a lot of cool
What
stuff.
color?
Verde Ithaca.
oh,
It's really sweet. It was owned by Busta Rhymes. That car went to West Coast Customs and it had white seats. And get this is amazing. It has TV screens behind the seats. Like, this much fucking room behind the seat and like the back of like the firewall. It's so funny. No one can figure out how to turn them on. It's like, how do you even see them? Like, it's so funny.
bro, when shit
That's
comes full circle, it comes so full circle.
Yeah, it's got neon lights, the whole neon lights, the whole thing. It's if you leave the car like the door open for 5 minutes, the battery dies. It's just neon lights just take off, and you gotta jump.
You gotta turn the TVs off.
Yeah. So Dylan and I just low key freaked out for about 2 seconds there because so shout out to Matthew Ivanhoe, the cultivated collector, who was on the podcast literally like I think about 2 episodes ago and whatnot. Just the nicest guy. And Lorenzo, I don't think I've ever told you this, but the first car that got me into supercars was the Lamborghini Murcielago that was owned by Busta Rhymes that you just described in his music video of Maybe If You Give It to Me. That's the car that I saw, and I talked about it with Matthew, and I described it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know that car," and I was like, mind blown, because like people usually don't really pay attention to that, and like Dylan and I were literally talking about this the other day, the fact that he knew everything about that car. And I was like, dude, that's the car that got me into cars other than the Fast and the Furious.
And you could have come to the open house. I would have let you sit in it and rev it. You could have made the battery die. It could have been sick. That's literally the car. That's kind of crazy. Wow.
That is the car. That's mind blowing.
It's in impeccable condition for like a rapper having owned it. I don't think it's on the original wheels. The wheels are they look kind of weird, but dude, that manual Mercies, it's a $500,000 car. It's expensive, but like that's $1 million car in like 5 years. Like,
well, LP640s are basically $1 million cars right now. The 6-speed LP640s.
Yeah, the LP640 is significantly better, and they only made like, I was doing research. It's like 30% of them were manuals, whereas the first gen were all manuals. So they're just not as like sophisticated. But
yeah, but I if you buy one at like 450 grand right now, I think you're buying yourself a deal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's gonna appreciate no matter what.
Exactly, and they drive really, really well, like shockingly. I mean, that's what I hear. I still have yet to have my Murcielago experience. I'm gonna will that to happen in 2024. If anybody's listening to Tormenting Tarmac who has a Murcielago, whether it's an LP640 or a first gen, let's make that happen, because I need to make that happen. This is the year of continuing to go ahead and make the goals happen, because like that. I don't cry when it comes to those experiences, but if I was in a LP640 or just a regular Mercy, I will cry on camera.
Yeah, super.
Lorenzo, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lorenzo, I'm just going to randomly fly up to San Francisco. Maybe I just need to randomly fly up instead of going for an open house.
Well, if we're potentially going to shoot a video on that car too, because it's been kind of stagnant on the site. So if we shoot that car, maybe we can have you tag along.
Oh my gosh. Well, guess what we're doing after the pod is over? It looks like we're going ahead and we're planning stuff.
Quick, Lorenzo, what else have you driven there?
Yeah.
Not a ton. I've driven. We had one of the first days I was there. We do manual conversions on 360 CSs, Challenge Stradales,
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
and I don't really like manual swap stuff. I think it's kind of lame and just like I get it. You could put the manual transmission in the car that's had a manual, but like I don't like stuff that's not really factory. Our guys who work there have been like working at Ferrari for like decades, and they're just absolute geniuses. So they make it really seamless. So the first one I drove was it was a blue 360 Challenge Stradale with a beige interior, and it just like didn't look no stripe. It's like the perfect size car, perfect power. The noise is incredible. Like I was like, like this is all I want. This is the best
Oh,
car.
the specs are gnarly.
Yeah.
I drove the 190e Evo 2 for like a hot.
Was that as underwhelming as Richard says?
It's very much sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It's like really lame. But from what I hear from our creative director is that it's like it's like one of the most fun cars to push on the limit. Like it's one of those cars you just have to learn and really, really get to know it to have it be fun. But it's like 800, that's like 600, $800,000 for like a big wing. Like
Yeah.
that's not really my
Yeah.
car. It looks
Yeah.
so bitchin'. It looks so
Oh.
good.
So
You
cool.
really do have to be driving the tits off of it in order to be able to go ahead and like get the fizz and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
You can get an Evo 1 and it's like half the price, and I'm sure for like
But even then, that's a $300,000 like
but
you know
like for
1990
99% of
Mercedes.
us, for 99% of us, you'll get like what you need out of that car, not the Evo 2.
Right.
Like it's just you're going for the looks. But
100%.
besides that, yeah, just like a bunch of Porsche. We sell a million Porsches. We have so many gated 991.2s, GT3s. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Not
I think
gated.
you guys had a Miami blue one up for sale, like literally, right? Is it still up for sale if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, we hit, dude. Like, I don't think I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, the DuPont guys know this too. But like, the 992s come out, and everyone just dumps all their 991.2s. GT4 RSs are supposedly like flooding the market too, right? Am I correct?
got a
on that?
lot of them.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because people think they can flip them like they did the last couple of years, and it's like if you have the money, it's an epic time to buy a GT3 of past gen because there's just so many of them. And
Yep.
I personally love the 991s. I think it's like the best. I love that gen. So
I adore the 991.2s. I actually just went for a ripping one back in January. I was riding shotgun, and I can't stress how much I believe that car is the best current sports car on the market today, like period, bar none. Like it's so incredible. And then my boy Steven Wren just bought one too, also a 6-speed, a 991.2, and I'm just like, live your life, live your best life, bro, because like that is one of the, again, I can't stress enough how great of a car that is. His is Miami blue. My friend Annie in Dakota's up in Prescott, theirs is Miami blue. I used to like not be the biggest fan of that particular color, and you see that in person, and then you realize everything that you said incorrectly about that car floods back to you and wants to slap the shit out of you because you are so dumb for not liking Miami blue. And I literally had to call myself out on that. And I'm going to go ahead and call myself out right now. Miami blue, fantastic color.
Especially on silver wheels.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more.
It's
Yeah.
gnarly.
It's fantastic. Although I still believe that a 992 GT3 touring in gentian blue that's the money move for me. I think it's a little bit expensive, you know.
It's good.
But you know, if Tormenting Tarmac ever takes off, I might go ahead and cop a 992 gentian blue.
And with that, let's ask Jorge a question. What's the deal with this Tormenting Tarmac, man? What's the 5-year plan here? Like,
what car are you wrapping
going?
stuff?
What's the deal? You're getting these big guys on the show. You got Dylan on the show. Like,
what car are you gonna put TVs in the headrest?
When are we gonna start getting royalties for these shows, man?
Hey, listen, you know, I'm just so blessed, first of all, that these people continue to go ahead and come on this podcast. I'm blessed to have friends like you, and whatnot. Like, what's the 5-year plan? Honestly, continue to cover car culture, not just Arizona, but like continue to try and bring it to that more like just closer perspective nationwide. You know what I'm saying? More intimate, if you will. I want to like. I love the fact of bringing it more intimate and people like being able to go ahead and tell me what car culture has done for them, and then what just discovering those stories, dude. All of us have so many. You guys in particular have so many stories. You know, Jordan every single day is going ahead and seeing things from his perspective. Dylan is going and traveling the country and visiting all these different places, driving McLaren Arturas and not giving me a ride in them. You got Lorenzo over here slaying the game, getting his dream job over at Issimi. I get a chance to go ahead and talk to you guys about that, and that's what brings me the joy. And then I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. F87s have been knocking at my door for like 2 months. I genuinely am doing everything in my power to try and actually see if I can swing an F87 or an F80 M3. Because yeah, I've been in 3 of them now in the last 3 months. Every single one of them has been such a pleasurable experience. And I'm just like, I really need this car in my life right now.
Dude,
That's-
I kicked myself for not having that car anymore. That was one of the most epic cars I've ever had.
So
And I tell Dylan all the time, that's what Dylan's next car is. Dylan's getting an F80 M3. You heard it here first.
Okay.
I heard it was going to be a paint to sample, but that's here near could be the thing.
I love them. I love them.
I heard those
It's just-
motors a little torquey though. I heard they're a little peaky.
Dude, let me tell you something. So it's so funny that you brought that up because actually I've ridden in 2 regular M3s and 1 comp. And the 2 regular ones, I love that feeling of it being so spiky because it being as an old school JDM fan, that whole like 3,500, 4,000 RPM, like all of a sudden kick in the nutsack is the feeling that you live for, which I know is terrible because we hate getting kicked in the nuts and stuff like that. But seriously, like that bam that hits you, that pull of a freight train, like it's absolutely lovely and sensational. And then the comp was actually just as lovely considering it's such a different experience. But the comp that I was driving in wasn't stock. It was maybe like high 400s at the wheels, so about 600 crank, let's say. And because it's got so much power, it hits you hard still, even though it's a little bit more of a linear power delivery. And those 6-speed manuals are actually much better than people give them credit for. And the DCT cars are like ace too. So if you're into that like JDM, like old school, early 90s, like real like kick of torque, those the regular incarnation of an M3, M4, F80, and an F82 is the move to go with.
Here's a question. Are you guys warmed up to the G8? Is it G80s?
I'm getting there. Yeah, G80's the new one. Yeah, dude, your friend is sick.
Yeah, my buddy just he had an F80 for a long time. He's had like a couple of them, loved them like to death. Tuned him out, sent it, and then just bought a new G80. Got it for like a screaming deal from Michigan for like 67. It's a comp.
Wow, that's inexpensive.
Like it was online for like 5 minutes and he called. It's black on orange with the bucket seats and fully loaded. It's actually sick as shit. Got the new Vorsteiner front thing and like I still hate the looks, but dude, he floored it and like he floored it. And it's like it's faster than shit. I'm like, I have never felt a sedan this fast. This is insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, the way they drive, it's like night and day better. It's heavier.
Those bucket seats too.
Dude,
They're
those
like
seats.
with more
That's
padding.
that's the only reason I want that car is because of those seats.
They're brutal to get into though. Like they're
Yeah,
really,
Okay.
Those are the seats that are in the M5 CS, right?
Yeah.
They may.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think so.
Yeah.
I
The
think
one
they
with
look the
like,
same.
It's that bucket that's got this like insane like hump in the middle and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Those seats are cool to look at, but I can imagine that after a hot minute of sitting in them, it's gonna hurt a little bit more than expected.
They're comfy. They're like Porsche bucket seats. They're comfy while you're in them, but then getting out and in just kind of sucks.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
You can sell those suckers for like 12 grand. So if you don't like them, you can just cash out, and then your boy's car turned into a $57,000 car.
It'd be kind of hype. It'd be kind of hype to take one bucket seat and put it in an F80 for the driver's seat.
I would agree. I would agree. I think that I think the G80 looks better than G82 by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So and to me, I'm not warming up to them, but I'm just getting accustomed to them. I think that the move is if you have a G80 or a G82, a darker colored car is the way to go, especially with
Yeah.
that four stranded grill that you mentioned, Lorenzo. I think that if you get a dark, so either a black car, dark green, a dark blue, or a gray, that's the move. Um, and yeah, man, I hear nothing but great things about the way that those things drive and how quick they are. I probably know at least two people. One of them has been on this podcast. Shout out to Callie Moldovan. She's got a G80 M3. She's making stupid power in her car. Like she breathed on it and it's making like 600 wheel. It's pretty friggin' gnarly, you know. And I know a couple of other people here in the Phoenix area that have got a couple. One of them has a comp. The other one is the base car, so it's rear wheel drive with the 6-speed manual. And my understanding is that it's pretty freaking ace.
God,
So,
so cool.
I think it's
Better
just a
than all
matter.
those though is the touring. We need to get tourings.
Dude, I'm here. I heard officially that M5 touring is coming to the States,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
brought me so much joy.
We saw an M3 touring when we were in London over at Goodwood, and it was like in the showroom. It was gnarly. It was so cool.
Wait, but can I go back to that really quickly? Because we heard of Lorenzo and Dylan's experience when they were at Goodwood. But Jordan, you obviously weren't able to go ahead and make it on with us last summer. So if you want to give us your own quick synopsis of your experience, because I mean, it was incredible. I was living vicariously through the three of you and through Cody. I was crying, and I was ugly crying because I wasn't there, but then happy crying because you guys were there and you guys were experiencing it. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm there with them in spirit. So how was it for you, buddy? Because that's the move.
Yeah, I got this cool sweatshirt.
That's
So
badass.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Well,
No, it was my first time actually over. What was it?
We got those sweatshirts both at 9 a.m. with beers in hand. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, cool.
No, you were in the line for the sweatshirts. I already had mine. I come back with 2 beers. I'm like, let's go.
Dude, that was like one of the most fun times I've ever had. It was the first time I'd been overseas, which was like already kind of culture shock.
Right.
But I don't think there could have been like a more perfect trip because like not only are you like experiencing a new countries and like a show that you've always wanted to go to where you're going to see every car you've ever wanted to see and every person that's involved in the automotive industry that you want to see. But then just on top of it, you meet like, I mean, it was my first time. Was it my first time seeing you, Lorenzo? I know.
Yeah, the first time we actually really.
I think it was. Yeah. So it was the first time seeing Lorenzo and like, all the other guys that we were with, that we stayed in the house, and it just like turned into just the most epic few days we could spend together. It was awesome. And that was even with it being canceled,
Yeah.
like the first day. So we ended up, I'm sure they told the story, but, went into London. It ended up being great weather there. Some car spotting, a couple beers, food, and it was just epic, dude. I
Fox
will
and Hounds.
100%. Yeah, Fox and Hounds. Couple stories that can't be told, but dude, it was just awesome. And I keep saying it, but I will say it every single time. You got to go to the shows when you have the opportunity, because that was one where I obviously put off for so long. And it's like the second you do it, it's like, dude, you meet these great people, you see everything you want to see. Dude, it was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend it.
When we got over there and started driving on the wrong side of the road, we were exhausted from getting off we were exhausted from getting off the flight, and Jordan and I laughed from Gatwick Airport all the way into London. We were just dying laughing because I was on the wrong side. It's a manual. We were just, it was so good.
He was driving so far on the left that I was literally getting branches in my face.
What was the car you guys rented? It was like the shittiest hatchback.
The Vauxhall, dude. So good. Dude, that's
epic, dude. That's so good. Yeah,
cool,
I'm aware that I need to go ahead and make these experiences happen. So the part of the 5-year plan, for the podcast to pay for itself. So that way Jorgito can go ahead and go out to Goodwood, Festival of Speed, and go out to Revival. And honestly, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna try and do for Car Week this year. I think it's already too late for lodging, but I might just go ahead and stay in my car. I might not give a shit. I might just go ahead and pull up at
100%.
Lorenzo's house and just sleep in my car, and then
Dude, I'm
just
still
to
trying to
trek
figure it out
into.
too. You're not late at all. You're good. I have no
Yeah.
idea what I'm gonna be there.
I don't know. That's because I genuinely want to try and do it this year. I want to apply for media. I don't know. Maybe I'm like riding this wave of like, hey, I feel confident in myself. I got media passes for 3 of the Car Week shows down here. So who knows? Maybe I mean I doubt that I would get into the Quail, but like, it doesn't hurt to try. So
No,
that's
right on.
something I do want to do these things. I want to be able to go ahead and experience it. And I think that, it's one thing to go ahead and hear the experiences and the stories coming from other people, but the other thing is also just being able to go ahead and for me to experience stuff too.
Yeah.
This podcast has allowed me to go ahead and experience things that I didn't imagine. And
Right.
that's a really fun and amazing thing, you know?
Even
For
just
sure.
talking with you to get like media badges for all the events out there, like you
Yeah.
got to cover everything out there for free.
Dude, we covered the shit out of it. And I'm so happy
Yeah.
that we did it. And my understanding is people appreciated it. They liked what was brought to them and whatnot. And that was really cool. That was, a validation once more, and whatnot. And yeah, it was really cool. It's amazing considering from the first time I met you guys and whatnot, and here we are 2 years later. It's like, hey, it's not bad. It's not a bad progression. I'm
No,
happy with what we're doing.
yeah, dude,
Dude, just
absolutely.
get those press cars, man. Forget the stupid media passes and just get
Yeah,
all the press cars you can. That's like that's it.
that's the move. Yeah, I know.
I
I need
think
to
you
go.
could probably apply for that now. I bet you could. Let it rip.
If we hit 1,000 followers, I'll officially consider myself an influencer, and it's like game over. Like
Mhm.
Start small, man. Like hit a
we're
Mini Cooper for John Cooper Works or like some Mustangs. I don't know. Like
I might just hit up Kia for a press car.
Yeah. Well, there's agencies that handle all that. So like they
Yeah.
have all the cars in the fleet. So just
Yeah.
get in there, just email them like once an hour. And
Once an
then,
hour, just blow them up. Just be
yeah,
like, hey, listen, you may have seen my email come through about an hour ago. I'm just reaching out to see what
Yeah.
happened, to see if you
just
received my
following
email.
up.
Just
Yeah,
want to
just
see how
following up.
lunch was and if you got my email.
Yeah.
my last email.
Yo, Dill, can we talk about that Artura there for a second? Because like, you were there for a very short period of time in Scottsdale, but for the amount of time that you were there, you made stuff happen like crazy. First of all, congratulations on I think I would call the successful stuff that you did for DuPont the entire weekend, brother. I'm so proud of you and everything that you did. The rallies that you took a part of, and just the whole, like, I mean, you were even boots on the ground for Jordan, like you did a car review with the Artura. So let's a minute on the spot. What do you think of the Artura?
Um, it's really good. I went into the whole thing thinking I wasn't gonna like it. I wasn't quite sure about it. But for like what I used it for, as just like a daily driver, just jumping in it and just flooring it, it
Yeah,
was it was everything I needed and more. It
that's
was
such a
handled
flex to
super
say you
super
were
well
using it as a daily, which is hilarious, but I
for
appreciate that.
for 2 days.
Yeah,
But then it gave me access to do all those other cool things, like when I don't know, like the Stradman and all those guys went on like a random rally, and like
yeah.
the
Shout out to
the
my boy
guys from
Cody.
Hennessy.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah, he was there. I met him. Um, but if I didn't have that car, I probably wouldn't have been able to roll with them. So
yeah.
that was really cool as well. But I did like the car. I know a lot of people may not be super crazy about it, but didn't leave me stranded, and it was good.
Excellent. Dude, how was Arizona Car Week for you in general? Because you know, it to me, it was on another level this year. Or is it, or maybe it's just me, but I don't know. I felt like it was, because this is what, year 5, 6 in a row for you,
But yeah, probably 6.
right? It was crazy this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, those guys bringing the cars in from California really really helped.
Yeah.
You know, the Koenigsegg's and Pagani's and stuff like that are pretty wild to see. It also felt like there was a lot more going on in between the events. Usually it's
Right.
just like you're at Barrett and then you got to go over to the other auction and then like what do you do in between or what do you do at night? Like there was an event at Otto that was very cool. There was just a lot more going on, and if there wasn't anything planned, we were like going to like local car meets. And what's the one? It's like at the Pavilion or something,
Yeah,
or
Pavs. They
dude,
shut
I've
it
never
down at
been
Pavs,
to
bro. They
I've
shut
never
it
been to
down
any
at
event
Pavs. Yeah.
anything like that, dude. Like the police were driving through each lane of the parking lot with their sirens on, like kicking everyone out. And
It
everyone
was
is
pretty wild.
is in like a Supra, just like two stepping on their way out. It was crazy. It was super crazy.
It was. I heard
Yeah.
it was pretty wild, dude. Um, I were you Lorenzo? Did you go out to Otto? Were you at Otto?
Did that place is impressive as hell, man.
Yeah.
Right? The camels. I heard about the camels, and like I was just dead, bro.
That Morocco party. No, dude, they like that guy. I think his name's Eli.
Eli, big
Eli.
shout out to Eli. Yeah, I still
He,
haven't,
like,
still need to get him on the pod. By the way,
yeah, I mean, he like just took like my dream and just like made it a reality times 10. Like that building, I'm like geeking out more over the building and like the special parking spots for like the little hangars for each person. Like it's perfect. The way they have all the battery tenders like perfectly in a straight line and like they come straight up over the car.
yeah,
It's like precision like I've never seen before. And the cars they have are insane. It's
yeah,
they're an IWC dealer too, and they have like a full bar upstairs and like 20 coffee machines. I'm like,
right.
holy hell, like these people even making any money? Probably not, but like it's kind of sick.
It's
Yeah, it's
super
sick.
sick. You know who else actually? What's fantastic about the Phoenix and Scottsdale area is, Otto's not the only people in town. Big shout out to of course Ron Evans and the Vault of Scottsdale, which is another amazing facility. I mean, he has his um cars and coffees every couple of months. I think they just had the last one of the season this past Saturday and whatnot. What a fantastic turnout. But like, Ron is like doing these cool, amazing events, not just the cars and coffees, but like other private events within the facility and whatnot. And it's so amazing that, a car storage in your garage can turn out into be this amazing venue that's surrounded by some of the most beautiful designs of cars and just curated in such a manner. It's amazing what we are able to go ahead and see out of like the vault and Otto and things of that nature. It's really amazing where we're at these days, right?
Mhm. No,
The Vault had a Hennessy unveiling like 2 years ago.
They
It's not
did,
too far
yes.
from Otto, right?
No, they're I'd probably say it's like probably 5 minutes away. It's right there, like
Yeah.
basically in the middle of Scottsdale, and whatnot. Big shout out to Ron Evans and the Vault. They're a fantastic individual and a really cool location. And yeah, they had that. I think they've had other big events where people do their own unveilings and whatnot, and it's really really cool. I think McLaren Scottsdale also does a few things over at their location as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
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 But I know that we're starting to go ahead and get a bit short on time, so I want to ask Lorenzo this first because I am very curious now that he's so deeply enthralled with Issimi. Dude, what are you seeing at Issimi that you feel that legitimately people need to go ahead and look at this car that you probably wouldn't find at a lot of other places that you're like, yo, this car is ace and someone needs to buy it.
Well, I don't want to blow it up too much because after I say it, it's just everyone's gonna start buying them. I'm really into. I spoke about it a little earlier too, but just a classic 360 Modena
Mm,
with the stick. They're really fantastic cars, man. Like they have
yeah.
you have to do engine out service or whatever, but
Yep.
they are cheap. They're like 120K for a manual, and they sound so good. They're the perfect price, and like they're just they're the next car that's gonna have like their like it moment in the next
For
year. I
sure.
think we
I
have
would
those,
agree.
we have those everywhere, and I really really like them. I think
Dude, let me tell you something. I think it's fair to say that Sam from Seen Through Glass has been the flag bearer for the 360 for a very long time. And shout out to him because he sold his 360 and then bought himself a 360 CS. Like, what a G, dude. Like, shout out to Sam, one of my favorite
Yeah,
YouTubers out
I
there.
mean, they're totally overshadowed by the F430 because you didn't have to, you don't take the engine out service for that. So people like that, and also
Yeah,
the F55 because it sounds better and it just looks better. But it's like the ugly ducklings always come back, right? And they're just cheap, so they're just gonna. It's like a 996, man. They're gonna come back.
I agree. I totally agree. And even the the F1 transmission isn't horrible in the 360 CS. Like if you're like when you're driving at pace, the F1 trans actually, because going back to you saying you're not the big fan of manual swaps in the 360 CSs. So the stock of it being stock with the F1 trans, when you're driving at pace and you know how to use the paddles, it's actually a cool, fantastic driving experience, was my understanding.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, what about you, man? You look at the inventory over at DuPont every single day of your life while you're writing up stories. So what are you looking at, A, that you're like, yo, people need to cop these? And then also, what are you looking forward to as we're barely in March? And I'll come back to you, Lorenzo, for this question as well. But like, so tell me what you're seeing on the site and then what you're also looking forward to car wise, like all in 2024.
I would say I think we hit it on the head with GT3s,
Mhm.
as just crazy inventory and awesome opportunity to own a car like that at next. I mean, I say next to no money, but for what it's worth, next to no money. But also do colors for me right now are just, I don't know, something's gravitating. I mean, I have a green car, but green for me is like the coolest right now.
Yeah.
And
Dude, your
we've been
Volkswagen is
trading.
so dope. I haven't said it on the
Thank you.
pod. Your Volkswagen is so freaking dope. I love
Thanks.
it so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it, man. It's awesome. But we have I think it's British Racing Green, Sport Classic
Mm.
with brown and houndstooth, and it's like the coolest thing in the world. That, and then I'd never seen like a British Racing Green STO, and that on silver wheels. That we have one of those right now, and it's like I couldn't stop talking about it this morning when I found it. I thought it was the coolest. I don't know why. I was
British
never like
Racing
a
Grain
huge
on an
STO
SEO.
guy until I saw that, but I could do that. Yeah, I could drive that.
Yeah. No, I definitely I mess with that. That sounds really delicious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then so what is it you're looking forward to like within like car culture or just cars in general like this upcoming year since you're making your grand return to the pod. I haven't gotten your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I just want to know what you're looking forward to.
Many more car reveals to cover, hopefully. A lot of good news, hopefully, from the industry. But honestly, more racing, more race stuff is awesome. Dylan can attest to this, but being at Sebring, and we had talked about it with a friend that we were with there, it's like the crowds are young, people are getting into racing more, they're getting out and experiencing, some of these old time races that need to be preserved. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm down for more endurance races. I'd like to take it overseas at some point. We've got to go to Le Mans, Dylan, for sure.
Mhm.
So you'll be there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there
And
in
that's the
spirit.
thing. We see so many cars just sitting on golf courses.
Yeah.
I
And frankly, I'm
know.
tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
honestly
No,
wondering
well,
why it said racing and stuff, because like
yeah.
I do like it a lot, but that maybe was not like an industry answer. But
No,
racing,
but
dude,
it's
so
it's
fun.
it's totally fair. I mean, I remember like when Lorenzo was on back in the summer, and he told me the exact same thing that the biggest thing that he's looking forward to is, not just seeing the car sitting there and whatnot. He wants to go ahead and experience more cars. Obviously, I know that you plan on you. Hopefully, you can go ahead and add something new to the garage this year, Lorenzo. I remember that vividly because I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I'm seeing all these cars and whatnot. It's like it's great, but now I really now I want to experience them, and now I want to go ahead and see them more at pace, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why Goodwood was just so special, because it was like, not only racing, but seeing racing in cars that you probably won't ever see race again.
Right. For
Yeah, it's just
sure.
special. I like doing those events. So a lot more of those, and just continue to kill it at DuPont, watch the brand grow and keep going.
that's what's been so amazing is how you've gone ahead and really just continue to take that by the reins, man, and do something with it and do something incredible. Like, I'm proud of you as my
Thank
friend,
you.
but like as someone that I admire and look up to, all three of you, man. And that's the thing. That's why, like, the three of you are all so motivating to me. You guys are the ones that make me go ahead and step my game up as much as I possibly can, because you guys are doing what I want to do, but like it's also just so great to see the three of you be winning in every facet. It's truly a remarkable. It's beautiful to see your friends win. Like that's
Yeah.
where it's at. You know what I mean?
Just remember, it's still a race to whoever gets the Bugatti first. So
This is true. This is true. I who do we got the money on? Who do you think is going to get the Bugatti first? I think it might be actually Lorenzo.
Gonna be
I don't
Jim.
know. Those Sugo Sundays, man, might blow you up way better.
yeah, dude, you're gonna start bottling
It's
your own
gonna
pasta
take
sauce.
1 billionaire to like my pasta.
1 billionaire.
Yeah.
Just
It's
1
going to be
billionaire.
Jerry Seinfeld's Bugatti, but he'll have one.
Left. I mean, you can still drive it. I mean, he's gonna want you to. Han wanted to go ahead and have Sean get to places in style. Hence the reason he gave him Evo 8 and Tokyo Drift, right, guys? So who's to say that the billionaire that hires Lorenzo to go ahead and do this pasta every Saturday and Sunday isn't gonna go ahead and put him in style and put him in something nice? That's all I'm saying. It's possible. Anything can happen these days,
It's gonna happen.
for sure.
Yeah.
Dilly Dills, where are you at these days, man? What are you looking at on the site that you think is making your heart flutter? And then, the remainder of 2024 is so grandiose for you and whatnot. Like what are you looking forward to?
Cars on the site. What's cool? Graham Rahal Performance has a bunch of crazy cars right now. They've got one of their recommissioned Carrera GTs.
Yeah.
They have a Speedtail, a bunch of stuff, really cool stuff just hit the site. Canepa has a bunch of cool stuff. They have a Bronco DR,
Need to
which
sample
is
in
crazy.
Porsche color.
Yeah, yeah, they painted green. It's sick. So those are cool. And what am I excited for? Car culture. I'm excited for Villa Death Day. Let's freaking make that happen.
We're booking it. Let's
That would
book
be really
it.
cool. That would be really, really
Dude,
cool.
I'm gonna
That
be
is-
drinking at 8 a.m. when I get there, man. It's gonna be sick.
Dude,
I'm
Negroni's on the double. Let's make it happen, bro. I'm telling
Dude, yeah, that I'd like to go to the Indy 500 this year. I don't have tickets, but I would like to make that happen. Or Formula One in Montreal. One of those.
Mm,
Like,
that would be very
I will
cool.
be at Formula One in Miami in May, guys. You guys should
Dude,
Ooh.
that's awesome.
And I forgot to
Noted.
mention, you just said Indy. I'm going to Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the end of next month for this M Racing School, something or other. I have no idea what it is, but it's like a 1 day, like intensive track day for experts.
That's cool.
Have
They
you
don't
been to
allow-
Indianapolis?
They don't even
Lorenzo?
allow. They don't even allow Formula One drivers there. They're not fast enough. So they invited me and like some other fucking jabroni, and like we're gonna just drive around CSs all day. So I'll have
Have you
some.
been
What's the
to
date?
Indianapolis?
What's the date for the Indianapolis thing?
April 30th or something. It's like on a Monday.
Oh,
But-
dude, I'm not gonna go out there on a Monday. I was just hoping it was gonna be around the Indy 500.
No,
Dude,
but
it's the coolest area.
the Miami Grand Prix. Come on, guys, get out there.
You want to go to
What's the
Pop
date for
City?
that?
That's
May 5th,
usually
I think
that's
it's
usually
Cinco de
Cinco de
Mayo.
Mayo weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a month before because it's usually the like 3 weeks before Monaco, if I'm not mistaken. So
Dude, I'm not even a Formula One fan. I'm just there to like watch people watch and just
Yeah, that's all it is, really. It's cool.
I'm gonna wear some white pants. They're gonna be brown by the end of the day. It's gonna be great.
I don't have tickets, but yeah, I'd go down for that.
I mean,
Well-
sure, I'll try. I don't know.
See, this is how it happens. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Fill your schedules up. Let's go.
For sure. So, I mean, it's fair to say that you've got those two things there coming up for you, Lorenzo. Is there anything else that overall, because obviously Car Week is coming up in August, or are you more? Is it more the striving of the personal like stuff that's where your mind is at right now?
Yeah, it's kind of personal stuff. Tackling these videos, they're kind of a monster to do at the East level, and like they really pride themselves on being like the authority on these cars and like telling a story no one's really heard of before.
Right.
So it's like for me, it's like I've never really done that, so I'm just it's just tough to just doing that with the cars we did today. But yeah, man, just one step at a time. But yeah, for sure Miami, for sure Concourse, and then whatever happens in the future, man, just gotta have conversations like this to get more people on board. Just keep doing it.
Amen to
Are
that, brother.
you still gonna do the walking in the woods videos that Issimi does? Is that the plan to continue them going?
The walk up videos.
Yeah, where he's just
those are some of my
literally in the
favorites.
woods and he just walks up.
So there's gonna be one posted very soon with two pandas. We have two panda 4x4s, and it's me and our creative director. And we shot that. It's us doing the walk up video. That should be posted very, very soon.
That is cool.
Maybe by the time this podcast gets posted, it'll be up there. But it's a green one and a red one. And we absolutely fucking hauled ass in these 4x4. This 4x4, they're called Sicily editions, and they don't even go 60 miles an hour. Like we're just on three wheels, like
That's so good.
It was great.
How much are they?
They're probably in Italy, they're about 15 grand for a decent one for a 4x4. You can get a front wheel drive like shit box for like probably 2,000 euros, and then to ship it here is like 5 grand. But
Holy
you
smokes.
can fit 2 of those in one crate, so you could like buy 2 and split it.
Yeah.
So if Jordan want to get them.
What's up, Jordan?
Maybe that's what we should be doing to go ahead and get up to Car Week this year, fellas.
They're really cool because they're rare as hell here, and I think they're prime cars for some resto modding. So like space on the wheels, they're just really cool. Like design, they're just like really angular. It's like popping a little, better suspension on there, maybe bigger engine. Like those cars look sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. By the way, Dill, you got the TRX after we last did the pod and whatnot. So, how incredible has that truck been? You've told me a little bit like, yeah, this thing rips and it's like amazing. And you've basically put Raptors to shame, not to go ahead and besmirch any Raptor owners out there. But like, seriously, that truck is so rad.
I can't
Well,
wait for
I'm actually currently a Raptor owner. I sold the TRX, but
You sold it already?
yeah,
You still had it. Oh my gosh.
No,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. TRX is sick though. It's the dumbest car of all time. It gets terrible gas mileage when you floor it all the time. But it's not as bad. If you drive it like a normal person, it's not that bad. You're not at the gas station that often. It's just like 10x what a normal gas station stop would be price-wise. But it's awesome. Literally the coolest daily ever. You can drive over anything. You're faster than most cars. It's so much fun. That being said, I sold it and I got a Raptor.
Unbelievable. What year is the Raptor?
21.
Okay. Was it a pretty decent mileage?
Yeah, it was like 28,000 miles.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the TRX was getting up there in the mileage, so I kind of felt like now.
Yeah, you told me you put some
time.
absurd number of miles on it over the last like few months just because of all the road trips and you and Jordan went ahead and like full on did cannonball up to Vermont again. You hooligans, that was so great.
Yeah, in the TRX, it was we like did the math. We found some like miles per gallon calculator and said, hey, is this going to be less than a plane ticket? And it was, so we did it.
We would have done it if it was more expensive to do it.
Because as we found out last time, Raptors don't even fit into trains, so TRX definitely is not, right?
Certainly not. It's why the TRX is bigger.
Yeah, Lorenzo, we need to go ahead and do that since we're the West Coast guys. We're repping the West Coast. I feel like I need to go ahead and just rent a Raptor, come get you in San Fran, and just drive up to Washington to Vancouver for absolutely no reason, and then come back down.
Yeah, man. These guys, I don't know how they do it. Like the 12-hour driving days, like you guys are crazy.
I mean, I do the 9-hour Amazon days on the weekends, and I'm like, I'm freaking dead. Like
I drive 30 minutes to work and my ass hurts. I'm like, this is I'm like,
yeah, imagine if you had the G80 and M3 seats, bro. Like that would kill you.
So Ali, said that, and I don't know if you know him, but Otto Hoffs on Instagram.
Oh,
But
I need to give him a follow, I think. Yes.
yeah, it's important. He posted something. He lives in Sacramento, and he posted something where it was like some highway sign that said, whatever the highway is, it ends in like Ocean City, Maryland, or somewhere in New Jersey or something. And it's some random highway that goes across the top of the country. And he's like, one of my goals was, always to drive this road. So Jordan and I were looking into like, what if we bought like a police interceptor or some like dumb cheap car and then just did that drive with him. The only
Yep.
problem is the police interceptor has plastic back seats, so we may have to find another car. If we're
No,
gonna
you
do
got to
more
get
than
one of
two
the
people.
detective ones.
Oh
They're
yeah,
always cleaner. Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
You could-
true story. I got a speeding ticket in a police interceptor once. I
Really?
I was doing like 95 and a 75, just mobbing. Yeah. And the cops pulled me over and they did not go ahead and take very kindly that I was using one of their old cars to go ahead and be bombing down the 10 freeway in southern Arizona. Uh, that was very funny. But those cars move. They have so much torque. Like probably the most durable car on the planet, those things. The
that's
apocalypse
what
will
I'm
happen.
thinking.
Yeah. The apocalypse can happen, and the only thing that's gonna be left is gonna be cockroaches and a police interceptor. It's really ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. Shout out to what's homeboy's name? Cletus McFarland down there in Florida with you guys, like with his racetrack and everybody and their mother just raising police interceptors down there. What a G.
Yeah,
We've been
he's
to
a
a few of
gangster.
them. They're so fun.
Yeah.
So
Have you guys done it yet? I feel like you guys have enough clout to be participating in that, no?
I
Not,
don't, I don't,
not
I don't
me.
think I have enough. I don't have enough clout to do
Someone's probably
anything.
closer.
But I just pretend. But no, I would love to do that. Oh my gosh, I would love to do that.
We should put it out there to the universe. The four of us, Garrett, if you ever hear of Tormenting Tarmac and of Race Car Dill and the Speedy Guidi and Jordan of DuPont, we'd love to participate. We'd be happy to come out to Florida and hang out. That'd be great. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it, guys. Thank you all so much for, first of all, your friendship, and most importantly, for continuing to do what you guys do for your respective communities and what you guys do in general for car culture, dude. Because you guys, again, just are great individuals who are telling the stories, but then also just living the life and sharing it with others, and bringing the joys that you guys get a chance to go ahead and have, and you guys are allowing it to be shared with other people. So please note that the three of you are making the differences that I believe that this podcast is all about. So thank you so much for continuing to do that. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, brother.
No,
Thanks
for
for
sure.
doing this.
Yeah, anytime. Lorenzo, where can they find you on Instagram, brother?
Find me on the Speedy Guidi. And I'm also the guy who runs PFS NorCal Instagram, and check out Issimi. Probably already follow him, but thanks for having me, bud.
No, anytime. Go watch the videos. Go watch Lorenzo's videos as they start to come out. Support Lorenzo. He is stepping into some massive shoes, but if anybody can go ahead and pull it off, it's Lorenzo fucking Iacomini. And I mean that absolutely. Jordan, where can they find you, my brother?
Jordan _A on Instagram. If you want to find me on DuPont, check out our news site. I've got a bunch of articles that I do there on cars and watches and lifestyle stuff. So cool stuff to check out there.
For sure. Subscribe to the email newsletter as well. I get emails from every day from DuPont with the articles that Jordan writes, and just, the great stuff that's coming up for sale from all their dealerships and all that good stuff. It's actually one of the very few spams that I actually enjoy getting emails from. So it's pretty
Just sent that out today too. You should have a new one. Yep.
For sure. I think I need to go ahead and delete some of my emails. I think my email is finally full.
All right.
Dilly Dills, where can they find you, my brother?
Instagram, Race Car Dill.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Please continue to go ahead and do your thing. And I appreciate and have so much love for the three of you. And it's an honor to go ahead and call you guys friends. If you guys are interested, go ahead and give us a follow here at Tormenting Tarmac. You can find us on Instagram, and then you can go ahead and find us streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. And then, of course, if you want to go ahead and subscribe to our new, well, not our new, but our relatively dormant but becoming undormant YouTube channel, where we will be uploading the Zoom recorded podcast episodes, please go ahead and give us a subscription over there. And we're starting to go ahead and upload. I think we already have 3 of our episodes uploaded, and hopefully by the time that this goes live, you will have several others uploaded on there as well. So appreciate everybody's support. On behalf of Lorenzo, on behalf of Dill, and on behalf of Jordan, my name is Jorge Aquino. You have been listening to Tormenting Tarmac, and it's a podcast where the enthusiast never dies. Have a great night, everybody.